Hello everyone! Last Friday I had the chance to look myself in Frankfurt at the Kia EV4 and the new Kia EV5. It was very interesting to see the cars and look and film a bit. Sadly, the event was planned for something else, so I didn't have a lot of time with the car. I couldn't film anything there with me talking because there were a lot of people and I couldn't be alone with the car. So I just filmed the car outside, inside, and then I had to go, so I'm talking all of the stuff right now.
If your company has electric cars as company cars, of course you want your employee to charge at home. It's cheaper for you and it's easier for the employee. Tronity has a software solution for you to know how much you have to pay your employee for charging at home. With the Fleet Manager you manage your employees and your cars. Tronity connects to the cars and knows exactly when the car is charging at home and how much. And then you get an easy monthly bill for your employee. If you want to know more, there's a link in the description below.
Let's start with the EV5. It's placed right in between the EV3 and the EV9. Very similar form to the EV3, but just bigger. A lot of space. When it comes to length, the EV5 is 30 centimeters, what is this, a foot longer than the EV3, but 40 centimeters, a bit more than a foot shorter than the EV9. So it's really placed perfectly in there. I was sitting in the back seats. You have a lot of legroom and a lot of headroom, especially with the panoramic roof. Looks really nice. And the trunk is also great size. The car will be available in the beginning of 2026 and it will start with only the big battery. 400 volt system, 81.4 kilowatt hours, the same as the EV3 and then the EV4 in a second as well. A smaller battery could come later, 60.3 kilowatt hours, but the 81 will be the start. Since it's not the 800 volt battery system, charging is not amazing. 30 minutes, 10 to 80%, but with a peak of 150 kilowatt, where the EV3 had a peak of 130, but the time 10 to 80% is still exactly the same. So I think the peak is a bit higher, but it goes down a bit faster. So if you only charge to 50-60%, it could be faster than the EV3. When it comes to range, Kia says for the EV5 with 18-inch tires, 530 kilometers. If you get the GT line, it goes a bit over 500 kilometers, but that's it. You get a bigger motor. Instead of 150 kilowatt front wheel drive, we get 160 kilowatt. Acceleration is still only 8.4 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, but that's mainly because the power is reduced when you have front wheel drive, so you don't get spinning wheels even on dry road. On wet road you might get that. We all learned that with the Hyundai Kona back in the day, in the Kia Niro EV that had that problem. So they reduced the torque when you accelerate fully on a standstill, but then when you're driving a bit you get the full power. Interior wise, the car looks really nice. The EV3 has something to open in the middle console but nothing to put in. Here you have something, but it's not gigantic. The trunk looks like an extraordinary space. 566 liters, and when you put the rear seats down, it's 1650 liters. That's really gigantic. If you want to tow something, the car can do 1200 kilograms if your trailer has brakes on it. And by the way, there's a frunk as well, 44 liters. The interior in the front looks a lot like the EV3. I see many same buttons. In the middle console there are some buttons, on the steering wheel, and then how you interact with the car, with the screen, the software, adjustment of the climate. Looks exactly like the EV3, but you can get ventilated seats. And by the way, if you're interested what's happening behind the scenes here on this channel, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery, where I started vlogging. Every few days there's a video what's happening with the cars or if I'm going to an event. Then we get to the EV4 and that looks very interesting. And you have two versions. You have the fastback and then the normal version, and they're very different when it comes to range and even length. Very interesting. The car can already be ordered and deliveries should start in the fall of 2025. The normal version is 4 meters 45 centimeters long, the fastback 4 meters 72. The most important part about the EV4 is that it's not going to be built in Korea and then shipped over here. No, it's going to be produced in Europe, which is very, very cool. Battery is exactly the same as in the EV3, 400 volt system, still not 800 volt, what we all would have loved. Same size as in the EV3, a 58.3 kilowatt hour or 81.4 kilowatt hour. Charging is also the same, a peak of 130 kilowatt with the big battery, and with the small battery 100 kilowatt. Times are the same for both batteries, 10 to 80% in 30 minutes. WLTP range, the fastback has way more range, 633 kilometers of WLTP range, and that's because of the drag coefficient. It's very good going through the air. It has almost the exact same number as the Volkswagen ID.7. The Tesla Model 3 is still a bit better. We also have the exact same motor as in the EV3, 150 kilowatt front wheel drive. The times are 7.4 seconds for the, from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour with the small battery, and 7.7 seconds with the big battery. Top speed is 170 kilometers an hour. Let's get to the space. I looked in the front and there was no trunk. Trunk has 490 liters of space, and if you put the seats down, 1435 liters. And if you want to tow something, it can go to up to 1,000 kilo for your trailer. The interior looked very, very nice all over. I liked the car. The front is a bit spacey. The rear is very, very straight down, that what I have seen in this car. Trunk space looks great, and the space on the rear seats looks also very nice. Good headroom, good legroom. It's a bit smaller than the EV5, but it feels bigger than the EV3. The front design is very, very similar again to the EV3. You can just see that everything is almost the same, and that's very understandable. So we have EV3, EV4, EV5 with the exact same design for the interior. But thanks to Kia for inviting me to look at both cars. I think they're very, very nice. So if an EV3 is not your size, if it's too small, and the EV9 is just a bit too expensive, then the EV5 is a great idea. Good space, the range is okay, charging is okay. Yes, it's not the fastest EV in front wheel drive, but it's okay. I think it's a good thing. And the EV4 is the same. If you don't want to get the EV6, and EV4 is fine for you. It's a bit cheaper, it has good range, charging is okay, so on a long distance trip it's gonna be fine. But it looks good. I like the look of the EV4, looks very spacey, I like that. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description below, and here on YouTube there's also channel membership. But that's it for me. Thank you much for watching, have a great day and take care. Bye!